This is my dream bike.
And I just bought my first bike.
And today we're going to go on an adventure to the roughest, toughest biker bar in all of Minnesota.
I don't have my license.
What?
I want a license.
Go to driving school tomorrow.
Meanwhile, back in the lowlands.
Stupid Alex had to go do a safety course, nerd. But while he's doing that, let's take a look at my my Birb here. We got a couple of projects to knock out on it real quick. This is my 97 CBR1100xx Super Blackbird, affectionately known as Birb. And it's already a really good, like, mild touring setup. This is my daily driver. I take it to work. Most of our job sites are an hour or two away, so it's got to be relatively comfortable for what most people would consider a relatively long distance. And to make it a little more comfortable, I've done a few things. It's got a Corbin seat. It has LSL bar conversions to change from clip-ons to a higher dirt bike style handlebar. We've got this MRA windshield, which is really cool. It does this cool thing where it's like a really tall boy when you want all of the wind deflection, but boop, you put it down in sport when you want to do zoomies. And we do zoomies often around here, so it being convertible like that's really convenient. Boop. And overall, it's just a really comfortable, good daily driver. I mean, it's a little heavy for what most people would consider an around town bike, but it does really well on long trips. And part of being capable of long trips is having some storage. So we've got this Cortec tank bag. This is where I keep my gloves, my neck thing, and this thing is expandable to fit actually a decent amount of stuff in there. We've got this Saddleman rear bag. This is where I generally keep extra warm layers, pair of sweats, my frog togs in case I get caught out in some rain. And it leaves a nice flat surface for me to strap my lunchbox on when I go to work. Around back we have this Givy Blade box. It's got a lot of space. My work backpack fits in here nicely. I've lined it with some insulation stuff that you would use inside of body panels on a car, which keeps things from rattling around in here in case it's not like full. And when I don't need it, boop, it just comes up and off and gets out of the way. Yeah. Really good, lots of storage there. And then the bane of my existence, these universal saddlebags. These are from Tourmaster, and they're just not very big. There's not a lot of stuff fits in there. Let me look around for an example. Jackery. There's an example. These are our Jackery power banks that we often use to charge all of our camera gear when we're out and about. Pretty good little size, like the size of a small lunchbox. And that takes up almost that whole thing. You could maybe fit a balled up t-shirt next to it. They're just not big. My hard hat for work barely fits in that bag. And that's annoying because I like to be prepared. I like to have power sources. I like to have different layers for if I get caught out and it gets really cold, if it gets wet, whatever. I like having a lot of storage on a bike. Another convenience that we're lacking is a phone charger. I run this quad lock mount, super sturdy and solid. Once that's on there, it's not going anywhere. It has some wiggle because it's on a vibration damper mount. Those little rubber footies there keep your phone from getting too vibration-y and shook up. I think that was actually marketed specifically for iPhone people. I think their cameras have something wrong with them that likes to break if they get shook up. I don't know. I avoid iPhone problems myself. If you're an iPhone nerd, leave a comment, defend yourself. So while that's a really good phone mount, I don't have any way to charge it. And I used to. The wireless charger that I have that runs as a pad on there is actually mounted in the Supra right now. The rally car. We have a Supra that's our rally car. If you haven't checked that out, turkey! I'll leave one of my favorite Supra episodes up here. And I took it off because last summer I was having charging issues on this bike. We needed to reduce the electrical load. I switched to some low power LEDs for the headlights. I redid the stator rectifier regulator, and it's good now. We found that the problem was specifically that the regulator had gone bad and was allowing it to overcharge the battery, fried the starter solenoid, fried several things. I had to replace some harness related stuff along the way. And now that that's sorted, I think not only can we afford to run a phone charger again, but I think we can have heated grips now. I've had heated grips on here before and I removed them because, you know, I wanted to lighten the electrical load. As that regulator was starting to go out, it would get to where it couldn't run heated grips and a high beam at the same time. That would be enough to start killing the battery. So now that its charging issues are fixed, we're gonna go ahead and get these creature comforts back in. So in the interest of fixing all these perceived problems, we've got a pile of other problems we're gonna make for ourselves. New storage, new racks from SW-Motec, another wireless charging pad for the quad lock, a set of heated grips that I haven't tried out. We'll see what those do once we get them on there, and probably some more SW-Motec stuff. SW-Motec racks are really nice, but they come with like a lot of parts and accessories and stuff, and it's a very thorough like whole, it's not just saddlebags, it's a storage system. So we're gonna see if we can get all those on today. And to kick this off, I think we're gonna go ahead and start with the riskiest thing. Let me explain. You see, we've mentioned we're unhappy with these saddlebags because they're universal and kind of cloth and dinky, but they're also small. And this box has saddlebags that are not small. And I have a little bit of a concern that we've gone too big. Much bigger than average, honestly. My biggest fear is that we're going to test fit these big ass side cases and they're going to be too large and interfere with the exhaust. Because I've only seen this rack setup used with SW-Motec's Aero side cases.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
And a couple of smaller GV cases and stuff. And I'm really excited for these side cases that we got. They're super nice, but pretty big risk of them being too big and not fitting. And if that happens, I don't know what I'm going to do in general. But there are smaller side cases that we would just have to switch to. But I'm gonna complain the whole time because I was really excited to go from like 15 liters to 36. And hopefully that comes true for us today. But first we gotta get these racks bolted up. And I'm a little worried about them too because these are marketed as being for a 99 plus. And this is a 97. I don't think that's gonna be a problem. I'm pretty sure all of the body mounting points are the same between the years, but we'll find out. I was able to find one instance of someone on one of the old forums. You remember those? You remember forums? I found somebody that was running this rack setup on a 97 or a 98. I don't remember specifically. He said it was carbureted. And most of the major changes were when they switched to fuel injection. There were a few aesthetic changes. So hopefully his bike being carbureted means that this stuff will fit my bike the same, I guess. I've been talking for a minute. Let me just show you some stuff. Say bye-bye, shitty saddlebags. They're pretty good if you need a solution either temporarily or that can be transferred across several bikes, or if there's just no aftermarket support for your bike at all. These are not awful. They're fine. I do recommend doing like I did here. You should be able to tell that there's a PPF. I PPF'd this entire portion here with a clear bra type material just to keep it from fucking up the paint where it sits against right there. And as long as you do that and secure them properly, they're good, but I'm excited. This is gonna be a lot better. Let's get these racks rigged up. So now with it rigged up, I think you can see why I was concerned about exhaust clearance. Anything that hangs lower than those racks at all is gonna be at a pretty big risk of touching. How much is it gonna touch? Is it gonna be a problem? I don't know. So that's why we're gonna open this last box real slow and careful like and be mentally prepared to return it. I really hope these work out, but bad things happen to good people sometimes. Boxes inside of boxes. My favorite. They package the shit out of all of this. Reasonable, they're kind of expensive, so, you know. Wow. Ooh, the mounting points are really close to the bottom on the back, so there's a chance. Man, these are so nice. This is a Givi Trekker Dolomiti case. It's a 36 liter. It says a maximum load of 10 kilos, but I think you can fit more than 10 kilos in here. Security lock, water resistant, all that good stuff. And, you know, carries like a suitcase when you take it off of its rack. So, really hope these work out. Let's see if we can get them rigged up. Here we go, moment of truth. Bonk. It's not far off. Give me just a second. I think we can make this work. I think that'll do it. That just might do it. Oh yeah, look at the difference. Just from adjusting the hangers. I bet we're good. Oh yeah, look at that. We're on there. All the clearance in the world. But, different problem. We've got plenty of clearance. We're good. Easy day. Unfortunately, these cases secure at the top using a little hook thing that would look a lot like the one that's on here. It'll be a peg, hook, kind of booper like that. These adapters for this SW Motec rack are the wrong ones. I guess they're meant for a different case that uses some manner of quick release pins, whereas we should have a hook that utilizes those two bolts right there. So we are gonna have to wing it with a solution to keep this thing secured in the meantime until the correct mounting things get here, but we did it. We'll figure out the strapping situation. I've got these nice Rhino USA lashing straps. We can use these to secure to the rack and they won't be able to go anywhere. We'll get that sorted. Let's take a look at our storage difference now. There's so much room. Let's grab our unit, our 1 metric jackery. You remember this barely fit in the universal bag with room to fold up a t-shirt or something in there with it. And in here, it is a hot dog in a side case hallway. Look at that. Look at that. There's so much room. Let's grab another one. How many jackeries we got around here? I don't know. Sponsor me. Look at that. 2, one on top of each other. And they fit next to each other. We've gone from a storage of 1.5 jackery to 4 jackery. Metric system be damned. That's a lot of jackeries of storage. I'm really happy about this. We fucking did it, boys. Let's take a look with the top case unplaced. Boop. There's our top case. Is the top going to hit? It's not. They clear, but in the event that it did hit, or if I had a slightly bigger case, these Givey cases have a hold easy feature. I think that's what it's called. Basically, once you unlatch it from the rack, boop, it just leans out a little bit. It's got this little footy here that catches it. And that leans it out so that you have much more clearance to be able to open it next to a big top box. So, if you're into storage like I am, that's neat. Also, we got one other neat little Givey related thing. Give me a second, let me make sure it's gonna work first. Maybe, just maybe. Here we go. Maybe, just maybe. Haha! With these cases, Givey provides a third lock cylinder. So the same key that opens and closes the side cases now opens the top box as well. So I only have to have one key for all 3 cases. Perks of running with the same brand for all that stuff. Really happy with that. So now that these are all sorted, let's move on to something that requires electricity. God, I hate that. Yeah, let's wire some stuff. I'm gonna start with the phone charger just because that should be a good bit easier. Don't have to route nearly as much, I don't think. So I run quad lock stuff because it's, you know, the only correct way to mount things on a bike. I have had a RAM mount let go of my phone at 70, and it fucking sucks. Don't recommend. This guy here, boop, 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 boop. Jesus Christ, is a little wireless charging head that my phone will just kerchunk, just like it does on the bike already. Even though we usually have a jackery or something on hand, it's nice to have the bike provide some free power instead of draining our other sources. Since it should be healthy enough to do that now, we're gonna do that. Let's get her on there. So the actual mounting of it is super easy because I already have a quad lock setup on here. We just have to undo this screw right here. Boop. That's it. That's how easy it is to change out heads with this quad lock system. So now my phone will just boop, lock on there. And it'll charge as long as it's wired up. And it really shouldn't be that hard. All we gotta do is find a source to tap into that's hot when the key is on. A fuse or some other source that's hot when the key is on. Something that comes on when you turn the key on. So we're gonna pull this cover right here. We're gonna tap right into this harness for the headlight. I'm running an LED headlight that's much lower consumption than stock. The stock bulbs are about 100 watts. These are about 55 watts. They put out more light even though they're lower power because LEDs are made out of witchcraft. So even if I tap that charger into the low beam circuit, we're still going to be under the threshold of what a stock headlight bulb would have done. So I'm going to declare that safe and we're gonna try it. Let's see if that works. I think it's wired up proper, so now it should work. Put a phone on. Boo-doo. Look at that. Wow. And it says fast wireless charging. We're good. We fucking did it, boys. Nothing but W's today. Now let's see if we can get these heated grips wired up. I'm a big fan of Oxford grips. These heaters Evo are one that I have not tried before. I have their other basic Oxford grips on a couple of other bikes. I actually had them on this one before and I transferred them to the Rebel last year when we bought that. I figured I would try these out this time. The main difference with these is supposed to be that they're thermostat controlled. They have what's called a thermistor, controlled heat setting. If you've ever had heated grips before, you'll know that after a while, if you let off and it's cold outside, they cool down really fast. And then when you get back on them, it takes them a few minutes to heat back up. But then eventually they're also too hot and you have to either turn them down or let off again to air them out a little bit. They're just a little finicky on maintaining temperature, and that's kind of the thing that these are supposed to be better at. They're only a few dollars more than the base model. There's a couple of others, touring model and stuff, that are a little bit more, but I think the main difference between these and touring is the grip pattern is a little bit different. There's also an ATV model that, you know, ATVs have a thumb throttle. Instead of doing this, you do that. And the ATV model actually gives you a little thumb heated pad, so that's nice. But I think these will be good for us. We're gonna see. We'll get them wired up real quick. These are always super easy to install. They just run straight to the battery. You don't have to fuck with relaying them in or anything. They're smart. They turn on when the bike is on and they turn off when the bike is off. So makes it a real easy plug and play connection system. Yeah, should be easy. Let's get it knocked out. If the bar is the wrong size or what. I cannot get these things to slide up on. Alex is home. Did you win?
Hey, I got a motorcycle license.
Dope. You want to slap some grips and shit on your bike real quick?
Yeah.
I can't get mine on, so we should try to get yours, I guess. Since Nerd is home, we'd knock out the couple of things on his bike, since the thing I'm currently working on is pissing me off. Did you learn anything? Do you feel like a safe and competent motorcycle rider now?
I'm gonna be popping so many wheelies.
We're gonna have a good time here. We like to have fun here. Hey, these grips are really fucking annoying. You'll notice they're both halfway on.
I love these side cases.
Oh, careful, careful, that's expensive.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money at Cycle Gear.
He spent more at cycle gear than he did on his bike. You'll have that. That's part of the game.
Oh. Yeah, you could fit like 4 Jackeries in here. Or a 24 rack would fit in there. I mean, I could fit a 24 rack inside of this.
I'd reckon I could put a dirty 30 of Bush in there. So, I wouldn't reckon you haven't seen this bike literally at all. But his grips are deteriorating bad. And we picked up some at Cycle Gear yesterday, so we're just both gonna fight with grips for a little while. It's gonna be fun. It's my favorite. Bikes are ready. It's time to take Alex to go see what this rough and tumble biker bar lifestyle is about. Decided this is more of our style. It's the secret. Cheesy bean and rice burrito minus the creamy jalapeno. Replace that with sour cream. Makes a 4-layer burrito. That's the move. Are you having fun? Are you enjoying your bike?
A lot. Yeah, I like driving or riding this bike.
Yeah. It's a good one. I really like mine. I can't tell a single difference, like as far as how it handles with the extra weight of the cases and stuff. But it's good. Heated grips are very heated, and phone charger keeps the phone charged. And I don't ask for a lot, but for those things to do the exact thing that they were put there to do, it's nice.
Yeah.
This was a good adventure.
I'm full.
Subscribe to see what our next Taco Bell related adventure is, I guess. Love you. Bye.